What's up, peeps? I'm back again with another video. Today we are at 6 ER still, and we have got our hands on the heavy buses. We've also got laser rangers, we've got the TD and the building health as well. So we've got all the toys that you need at 6 ER to be competitive. Obviously, I could do with the shock launchers on my layout. That's my next stop, but I'm still doing pretty good without them. As you can see, I'm 8-2 right now, or 7-2 with one draw. Base is holding up pretty good. Lots of fizzles, lots of slow attacks, all that kind of thing. If you are finding yourself coming across this particular layout or anything similar, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how you can beat it pretty easily. So take a look at the layout first. It is the perimeter layout. I've got the engine rooms in the corners and then one in the middle with my rocket launchers and my damage amp. Then we've got the flamethrowers and machine guns in front of the ERs. That's obviously for seekers and stuff. And then we've got all the mines and that spread out along the paths as well. Now these mines are slightly offset to the left just a little bit. That's because as laser rangers attack, they sort of spread out a little bit. They go out and like a little arch and they'll hit those mines. We don't want the heavies from the heavy buses setting them off. If we can help it, we would rather get the laser rangers to hit those mines. So that's what they're there for. We've got the critter launchers as well covering the ERs. That's to help combat seekers. And I've obviously got the hot pot down here in the corner. I changed from my sky shield to the hot pot. And yeah, that's pretty much it really. That in terms of the layout. Turned out to be quite a popular one. It is quite slow for laser ranger attacks. It can be done with heavy chopper rush or heavy chopper rocket chopper. If you're a seeker god and you've got bullet, then it's a fairly simple seeker hit. Most people aren't at that level, so I'm going to show you how we beat it in a different way. Jump in to show you some of these attacks, what I'm doing at 6 ER right now. Still quite a lot of spread bases out there. All I'm doing is going with 3 boats of heavy choppers, then delay dropping 5 boats of laser rangers with Kavan and second wind. Now the reason why you want to delay those laser rangers is because you don't want them getting to the top of the ramp first, and you want a couple of heavies to already be pooped out of the heavy choppers before they get out there too, so there's a bit of meat shield. Then it's a case of using the cryo bombs and your critters to clear those mines so that obviously the laser rangers don't get caught up on them. I'm using artillery there to pop a couple of the shot mines that are out to the sides. We're using second wind pretty often. We want to be bringing back heavies more than anything really. Obviously, if you lose laser rangers, if you see yourself losing a big chunk of laser rangers, then obviously hit that second wind straight away because you want those ones back because that's your DPS. But yeah, really the second wind is really there for the heavies. But yeah, once they've got through most of the base, you find yourself in this sort of situation where they're sort of picking on 2 ERs, and then you can just let them find their own path. Some critters there to clear the mines, sky shield down, Hail Mary the last ER. This is another one like that, except this one's obviously got the damage amp with all the rocket launchers and stuff over here, which isn't ideal, but it's basically the same hit. Just keep spamming the second wind, let them find their own path and let them clear, using your critters and your cryo bombs to slow everything down. When you've got a situation like this and they've got damage amp with all the rocket launchers and that, instead of wasting GBE on shocks, you can just drop a cryo bomb on that and that will slow everything right down there to basically to the point where it's not much of a concern. Obviously when it comes back online, everything's going to come back online at the same time, so you need to watch out for that. Keeping Kavan going with the second winds. Once the laser rangers and stuff get into that stuff, you can then just drop a shock down on the boom cannons. Obviously you don't want to lose your heavy choppers if you can help it, but then again it's just a case of letting them find their own paths. They'll find their own way to the ERs. This guy had this engine underneath his sky shield, but as you can see right there, that the corner of the ER is poking out from under the sky shield, so it is not protected. You could flare that if you wanted to, or drop artillery on it if you wanted to. Just keep your eyes out for that. Sky shield's in the wrong position on that one. But yeah, once they get through that, they get onto the last ER for another one. So let's take a look at these perimeter bases that people are struggling with. This one is one I did this one in 2 minutes 12 left on the clock. I went with all heavy choppers, and then we dropped brick in there as well with battle orders in a second. Once they get up the top of the ramp, dropping brick with battle orders, using a cryo bomb there to clear those mines. And then once this ER goes down, we're going to flare over to the right like that. Couple of smokes and a battle orders to get them there as fast as possible. Keep the heavies in the fight. You can see there that this guy again has got the sky shield, the damage amp, and his rocket launchers in the center. You don't really need to worry too much about the shock launchers. Yes, they are an issue. Yes, they will slow you down. Yes, it does make the attack more likely to fizzle, but you can just keep shocking it. You can shock off the edge of the sky shield if you wanted to, or just use a couple of smokes and some critters to distract the shock launchers. That's absolutely fine as well. But yeah, let's just flare into ER to ER. Couple of smokes in between. The one thing of note really for this is it is very, very tight on GBE. If you use a couple of smokes between each ER, then you might not have the GBE for the next flare. You might have to wait for that ER to go down before you can get the GBE for that flare, which will slow you down. So, you know, you might want to just dial that in a little bit, have that in mind. This one is a slightly different variation on that one. Again, rocket launcher, sky shield in the middle. This one I did slightly different. As you can see, this one hasn't got like the full perimeter. This is like more like a half perimeter, but with heavier defenses. If you were to try and heavy chopper rush this, you'd probably fizzle. But as all the defenses are clumped up, that makes it absolutely perfect for laser rangers. So that's what I did. 3-5 laser rangers with Kavan. Once they get that first little bit down, keep them over to the right, using our cryo bombs to keep the rocket launchers shocked. I then barted out the sky shield, and guess what that leaves? Absolutely perfect shock point to shock all of this with one shock. That's the only downside really of the sky shield, is that when you take it out, everything's really easy to shock it underneath. So that's what I did. Let them keep clearing, use the cryo bombs to clear the mines, kept a shock on that stuff in the middle until we had some troops in position to clear it. And then it's just a case of just letting them do their thing. Keep spamming second wind, the critters for the mines, cryo bombs for the mines, all that type of stuff. And yeah, just let them clear their way around. That's that was actually pretty quick. That was 2:20 something left on the clock on that one as well. Hail Mary to the end, spare GBE. Boom. This one is another perimeter base, again with the heavy choppers. I said before, just in case of using the GBE to clear the mines. The GBE is tight, especially if you use the smokes in between. Obviously, you can try and get away with using no smokes or just maybe one smoke if the ERs are close together. This one, I let the hot pot do its thing for a second because I didn't have the GBE for the shock. Like I said, it is tight on GBE. Then we flared on to the next one, and then the next one. Shocking that shock launcher in the middle. Obviously, no sky shield on this one, which is good. And then it's just around ER to ER. Again, with the shocks on the shock launchers and stuff. Tried to pimp that, but they've got them laid out in such a way that you are not going to hit them. This guy though had a slightly different one. His ER, this one wasn't in this far corner. So what happens is when you flare it from over here, the troops are going to walk down this middle bit here where there's no defenses, which is obviously perfect for you as the attacker. Once that last ER goes down, boom, for another win. The one thing you do need to keep an eye out for is the ones that have got the Doom Cannon in the middle, because that does help you fizzle really quick, especially with the heavy chopper rush. That Doom Cannon is probably worse than the shock launchers, in my opinion. At least with the shock launchers, you're not losing your troops in big chunks of them, but that Doom Cannon will wreck you really quick. Keep an eye out for that. As you can see, I am back into rank 21, 22. I'm going to be pushing for 22 later on today. That's the plan right now. Plan of tech for me right now is going back for the shock launchers, maybe the Doom Cannon, possibly the shock launcher, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be skipping the Hidden Warrior for now anyway. I might have a little play around with it on the last day, just have a little play around, make a video with it or whatever, but for right now, I don't think the Hidden Warrior is any use. I haven't seen anybody using it to any good effect. So yeah, let me know what you think about that in the comments. Are you using the Hidden Warrior? If so, I would like to see a video if possible. Maybe I'll make a video on it and give you a shout out. But yeah, that's pretty much it really in terms of tech. Everything else is pretty much the same. Oh, the one thing of note, obviously now you're using second wind with the heavy choppers and laser rangers. Make sure you level up your riflemen in the tech tree. At least tick 4, tick 5 if you can do it. You know, max them out, because when you use second wind, the rifles that Kavan spawns will be the same level as what they are in the tech tree. So if you haven't upgraded the rifles, you're only going to get level 1 riflemen, which obviously are no good. I know they're only distraction, but when they live a little bit longer, they distract for a little bit longer. So get them riflemen leveled up, get even more value from that second wind. Work on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's kind of it for this one. If you want to learn how to use Seekers though this season, check out the video on screen right now. That one there will teach you how to use Seekers and absolutely smash some of these bases. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.